Salut coders, this is Bisky here. Welcome back to another tutorial. Home greetings to those who are joining us for the first time. In this video, I want to tell you more about Quarkus. I heard many of the controversy between Quarkus and Spring Framework. Why Quarkus in 2024? Why people are now want to learn new framework? And there are others who learned Spring Framework for more than 15 years. But right now, people are talking about Quarkus. And in previous years, it was good to learn Spring Framework. And nowadays, people are preferring Quarkus. Why are the advantages of Quarkus? There are so many advantages of using Quarkus. And one of them is the resources management. Using Quarkus, you can use it uses low memory. When you run your Java application, the memory is very low. So if you have a limited resources, you don't have money to buy VPS server which has large memory, you can use Quarkus. But if you compare it with Spring Framework, Spring uses a lot of memory. So let's say you build microservices, and in those microservices, each service is taking a large memory on your server. So what's the consequence? You'll be run out of memory and your application crashes. Quarkus uses small memory. And the other thing about Quarkus is when it also has a good support like Spring Framework. And we can look at Quarkus was the framework was getting to public, I think 2019 when it was established, and it almost had 5 years, but out there people are talking more about it. Why? Because those Quarkus guys, they went out there, they didn't reinvent the wheel. They just go into those old frameworks because they know that there are people who learned Quarkus, who learned Spring Framework, who learned Java EE, and with Quarkus you'll be able to use those technologies. So you can use Spring into your Quarkus framework. So if you're a Spring guy, you are not lost. You can also learn Quarkus easily by using the dependence that you were used to for Spring Framework. So with Quarkus, you can use the Spring Webs, either JPA, it's going to be the same. And in Quarkus, we have what is called Panache, and we can have a tutorial for that. The other thing for Quarkus is that with Quarkus, you can run your application without restarting. Let's say you're writing code, you just change a few lines of code. So with Spring Framework, you have to restart the application so that your changes will take effect. But with Quarkus, you just test your endpoint and the application will just reload the new changes without restarting application. So this is the best thing. So out there, people are asking, we can use JRepo to do that. Yes, you can use JRepo, but go and check the price. But for Quarkus, it's free, open source. You don't have to pay anything for those changes. So you'd love to take Quarkus. With Quarkus, we can talk about the Docker. So when you create a project, you can have the Docker, everything set up for Docker. So you just run the Docker build, Docker run, everything is okay. And you don't need to know how to write a Docker file, and you can deploy your application easily on cloud. And the other thing for Quarkus is because of cloud. Yeah, take a look of cloud today. Everyone's talking about deploying application with Docker, with Kubernetes. So Quarkus is going to be advantageous on that. So when you deploy an application on cloud, the other thing that I like about Quarkus is that when you run your application, it takes small time, limited time, like milliseconds to run your application. And when comparing with Spring Framework, you can take a lot of time to run your application because the Quarkus takes time to build and less time on running. But with Spring Framework, it takes less time to build but takes time to run. So which one do you choose? I think it's better to choose Quarkus because when you're on cloud using microservices, the deployment will be smart, smooth, and faster. But I didn't say that Spring is not good. Spring is very good It has a big, in terms of ecosystem, it has a big support, and everyone loves Spring. If you need a framework that is mature enough, you can go for Spring framework. And everything, like it's a Spring Cloud being supported by, let's say, Netflix, all of those things. But with Quarkus, it's now it does not have like a large support as compared to Spring framework. So it's up to you to choose Quarkus or to choose framework. And for this tutorial, I want you to walk you through how to set up Quarkus from start to finish, until we include all the authentication, how to save data in the database, the rest, all the advantages of using Quarkus framework. So if you are new to this channel, may you kindly subscribe, click the notification bell so that you'll be notified whenever we upload new video. Salut coders!